Hello, hello, hello. Assalamualaikum everybody. Happy Thursday. Anybody online today?
No, there's like a 30-second delay.
Hi everyone. Who's joining me today? I cannot see. I can't see. I can't see. Okay.
There's
I can't see the who's live. I used to be able to see it. Yeah, I can't see. Hey, say something. Say hello so that I know you're online. Who's online? Hi Hazel. I see you. Okay, just waiting for a few more people to come in, yeah? Who's joining me today? So this is Ask Atta. Yeah, so this is a live session, live show that we're going to do every 2 weeks. This is our second time, ni kali kedua ya kita buat sesi ni, sesi live. So what we can do today is anything you want to know about Atta Plus. Hey Hazel. And also anything you want to know about equity crowdfunding, ya. So tanya I apa-apa soalan. Semua soalan pasal equity crowdfunding, ya. Jangan tanya soalan pasal I. Who else is here? We're waiting for a few more people to come in. Okay. And then we'll start. Hey Shah, how are you? How are you? Mana kawan-kawan lain? Okay. So this is bi-weekly, am I right? Every fortnightly, yeah, bi-weekly session that Atta Plus is doing. Okay, and for us to answer any questions that you may want to ask about ECF. Okay, and you can ask anything about it from an investor's perspective, ya, daripada para pelabur punya pandangan ataupun from the entrepreneurs or business owners perspective, ya, daripada para peniaga yang mungkin nak consider ECF ni sebagai satu cara untuk mendapatkan dana untuk syarikat mereka. Dana ini selalunya digunakan untuk membangunkan syarikat, ya, for growth and expansion. It's not to pay off loans, it's not to buy out shareholders, but it's more for growth and expansion. That is typically the users of the funds for equity crowdfunding. Okay, and just to give you a bit of history, siapa yang tak tahu pasal ECF ni, equity crowdfunding was regulated in Malaysia in 2015. It is regulated by the Securities Commission of Malaysia, yeah, the Suruhanjaya Security, syarikat Suruhanjaya Security Malaysia, and this initiative enables Sdn Bhd companies, ya, company yang bertaraf Sdn Bhd ataupun LLP companies, ya, limited liability companies, PLT companies, who's qualified, yeah, to fundraise in equity crowdfunding, via equity crowdfunding, sorry. And what is equity crowdfunding? So equity crowdfunding ni bukan satu konsep yang baru. Ya, dulu kita sebelum equity crowdfunding ni ada, even masa dulu-dulu lah, kita selalu when we want to do a business or we have an idea, the first persons we go to are our friends and family, our parents, and we pitch the idea. But last time the community is small, kita pitch kepada orang yang kita kenal. But now with equity crowdfunding ni, we can pitch the ideas and our business proposition to people that we don't even know, and these are generally people who may have the same interest or believe in our initiative, and we can reach out to them, beyond borders, melalui social media, digital media, dan juga melalui internet. And also because now internet is so readily available to a lot of people because of the mobile phone. This is such a powerful tool. So especially because of the advancements in mobile technologies, we're able to reach out to a lot more people, and not just in Malaysia but also in other countries globally. And mereka-mereka yang boleh melabur dalam ECF ni, dalam syarikat-syarikat yang kita dah qualify, yang kita dah screen melalui our online application. What was I going to say? I dah lupa apa cakap. Actually pelabur-pelabur ni can be from anywhere in the world. It does not have to be Malaysian sahaja. Is anyone anywhere around the world. Okay. Tapi syarikat yang boleh apply must be Malaysian registered businesses. Okay. Hi Aisha, you just came online. Okay, welcome. Where was I? Okay, so it must be Malaysian registered companies, Sendirian Berhad, ataupun limited liability partnership companies, and the companies cannot be subsidiary of public listed companies. Afternoon, Aisha. And on top of that, the companies cannot have paid up capital of more than 10 million ringgit. A lot of people always ask me, must the company have a track record, ataupun mesti kalau company baru boleh ke? Yes, new companies can even apply, because at the end of the day we will assess or we will screen the companies, to see whether they are qualified or not. So it does not have to be companies that's already in operation. And some other company tu ada track record tu juga. It depends. So what do you mean by track record? So and we've always been asked about this. So track record ni tak semestinya kena ada revenue or sales. So for example, let me give you an example. Facebook, when they first started, they didn't have sales, but their assets was actually their eyeballs, people who sign up, people who register in the platform. So that was their asset, because their business model was that they need to have the volume of members before they can monetize or affect their business model. Because their business model is actually advertising, and they needed to have the volume of the eyeballs in order to start monetizing or start commercializing or commercialization phase. Okay, so it really depends on your business. Do you have any questions for me? Ada apa-apa soalan yang terbuku di hati? So you can channel it to me. Can just type in and send me that message. All right. Okay. So let me continue. So with equity crowdfunding, like I mentioned just now, companies, now the limit yang you can raise through ECF is at the moment, it used to be 5 million ringgit maximum. Now the limit has been increased to 10 million. So the maximum funds yang you boleh raise melalui ECF adalah 10 juta sekarang. Dulu 5 juta, sekarang 10 juta. So if you raise one time 10 million, then you cannot raise anymore. So that's the maximum. Tapi katalah you raise 1 million or 500,000 the first round, so you have another 9 million that you can fundraise. Okay. The other thing that's interesting now about equity crowdfunding is that the government is also co-investing together with the crowd. Yeah. And this is through a fund. It's called Malaysia Co-Investment Fund, or MySIF for short. And the government typically puts in, or that's the ratio that they put in, every 4 ringgit that the crowd invests, the government will match with 1 ringgit automatically. Yeah. So maknanya kalau company tu raise 400,000, government akan match dengan 100,000 immediately. And it's only up to 500,000 ringgit per company. Okay. However, masa COVID ni, because of COVID-19, the government has kindly given a much more aggressive ratio. Ya. So sekarang for 6 months, daripada 3 hari bulan April hingga 30 September, the government will now match for every 2 ringgit. For every 2 ringgit, government akan match 1 ringgit. So for every $2, 2 ringgit, the government will match 1 ringgit. So maknanya kalau you raise 2 juta, government will match 1 million. So that's the maximum. Yeah. So 1 million. Okay. All right. So that's the maximum that the government can match during this COVID-19 period to help entrepreneurs. Okay. So that's more from the company's perspective. Now what is the benefit of equity crowdfunding? So it's not just untuk dapatkan duit, ya. It's not just for fundraising. You know, we always mention that it shouldn't be a case whereby, you know, you have tried all other avenues to fundraise, and then you said, okay, I cannot fundraise. I tried banks, I tried VCs, I tried angels, semua tak dapat, so I go to the crowd. So it shouldn't be the case. It should be a strategy. Actually, it should be the strategy of your company as to why you want to opt for equity crowdfunding. Yeah. So whether be it you know, you want to reach out to a wider pool of investors because you do not want just 1 or 2 or 3 limited number of investors, yeah, and you want to actually give opportunity to more people to be part of your company. Or sometimes a company, they actually use that as a strategy also to get brand evangelists, you know, so people who can market and promote their products and services. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah. So on top of that, so all this what I'm talking about is why people opt for ECF. Okay. And then beyond that, I think one of the greatest benefits of ECF is actually the marketing part, right? Because typically when you do equity crowdfunding, yeah, people get to know about your company, all right? Because you market and promote the campaign either via social media, digital, PR, or even through pitching sessions. So more and more people get to know about your business, and it's not just about acquiring, I would say, investors, but also is acquiring or sourcing partners, suppliers, and who can help you to grow your business. Yeah, we actually did one campaign previously whereby this particular company, because of the coverage that they receive, of their campaign, they actually log in many new deals, you know, up to about 5 million ringgit. So in the end, they said, okay, with we've gotten so much a new business that they decided to end their campaign. Yeah. So that is one of the most, I would say, most compelling reason why people go for equity crowdfunding as well. So that's more for the ECF for business perspective. But why would investors want to invest also? You know, so you see, before ECF was made available, only I would say venture capital companies ataupun angel investors, ya, investors perseorangan, ya, pelabur perseorangan yang mungkin ada spare cash or banyak duit, ya, yang boleh invest in companies like this, you know, yang dapat tahu pasal peluang-peluang melabur dalam syarikat-syarikat macam ni. So, you know, and typically these are startups, you know, and when I say startups, typically, I would say 19 to 95% of companies yang opt for equity crowdfunding ni are generally so startups. They're in the startups position, okay? And if ECF ni tak ada, orang macam especially retail investors, ya, wouldn't have the opportunity to invest in ECF, right? And because selalunya bila the company offer, yeah, the investment to the public, normally it can be pretty attractive and small. Yeah, so macam how small? We've had investors investing as low as 10 ringgit. Okay, so 10 ringgit ada, 100 ringgit ada, 200, I think 10,000 ada, 5,000. So dia punya apa tu, dia punya stretch tu in terms of yang kecil ke besar, it is in many multiples, yeah. So it can be in very small in terms of entry point ataupun quite high. So when a retail investor is given the opportunity, so people always say, okay, so what is so great about investing in this kind of companies? Because pulangan dia boleh actually can be very attractive. But the trick is you can hold the investment. This is not a short-term investment tau. Investment in ECF ni sometimes you can hold 5 years, 7 years, yeah. And let me give you an example. So if you had invested in ECF, so in Uber, for example, 10 years ago, all right, and you invested $10,000, okay? So let me ask, how much do you think? Can you type in? I just want to see a show of hands, all right? So how much do you think your 10,000 will be worth? Maybe can you guys type in? After 10 years, how much, if you invested in Uber 10 years ago, and this is actually a study done. 10 years ago, you invested $10,000 in Uber. How much will your 10,000 be today? The value of your 10,000 investment in Uber. Can you type in? Don't be shy. I just want to know. What do you think? How much can your money grow if you had invested in a company like Uber? Takkan tak ada orang nak type kat I kot. Just give a guess. No answer is a silly answer. Tak ada orang nak guess? I say, man, how lah? Okay. So actually, your $10,000 10 years ago that you invested today in Uber, it would value at $110 million. So you see? Alah, not 100,000. Not 40,000. 110 million, my darlings. 110 million. 110 million, yeah. So imagine, and the trick is also when you invest, you don't, katalah you have $10,000 to invest, you don't put all your 10,000 in one company. you pecah-pecahkan your investment, okay? So you break your investments into smaller denominations. So you can put 1,000 here, 1,000 company A, 500 company B, 2,000 company C. Tapi janganlah macam main serkat jarang je. You must look at the company. You must think that, oh, this company has potential. You can't just simply throw in your money and without thinking, yeah. But having said that, if the company is, I've seen investor strategies, right? I've seen a few investors whereby, especially when the company is offering entry point of 100 ringgit or 200, they simply masuk je tau. So, okay, 100 ringgit, I letaklah 100 ringgit, 200 sana, because you don't know, you see. You don't know your 100 can actually be 10,000. You never know. Yeah. So that is another strategy for investors. Yeah. So and if katalah you ada 5,000 you nak invest and you nak tengok duit tu beranak kan. So if you put 100 ringgit and that 100 ringgit become 10,000, it more than make than all your other investments yang mungkin tak jadi. Yeah. So it's like a VC strategy in a way. Okay. Yeah. So I'd like to say hello to the new people who just joined us. Dr. Faizal, Amy, Kenji, Farida, and Alex. Hi. Welcome. Okay, so we're just talking about the potential of, companies that go through equity crowdfunding and why investors should invest. All right. Okay. So, so that's the value really to investors. So I also have a question on valuation. How would a company value their business? Okay, typically, I just want to be very clear here. As a crowdfunding platform, we are not allowed to provide advisory position because we are an intermediary. We don't play an advisory role. It is actually prohibited under the guidelines for a regulated market operator, a regulated platform like ours, to actually provide advisory to our issuers, to the business owners. And we get this question a lot, on valuation, and whether our valuation is good or bad or high or low and so on. Tapi the valuation needs to be done by the individual companies through their own advisors. We can provide inputs, tetapi more than often what we observe is that, especially startups, they tend to value their business a bit on the higher side. Yeah, in general, what we have seen, we've seen that's come through our pipeline, and I think for startups, you have to actually really look at your basis of valuation. All right, and there's quite a number of valuation methodologies out there. I mean, you can do go to our platform and I think one of my team members can put in the link for our resources, whereby you can click on the link, whereby, can somebody put in the link in terms of our Knowledge Hub? So in our Knowledge Hub, one of the things that, one of the tools there, we have resources on how do you value a business and the different kind of methodologies, and just be as realistic as possible about your valuation, okay? Because sometimes we've had companies, startup companies, who value their business and at say 50 million or 60 million, and you need to compare yourself with also a public listed companies whereby their market cap doesn't even reach that amount, so you need to actually get real about your valuation. Okay, no doubt sometimes we say that, okay, if you're so confident, that that is your valuation, then so be it. But you have to defend, yeah, when people query you, or when, especially when investors ask you on your why your valuation is as such, yeah, okay. And there's a question on marketing. I think I've spoken about the benefits of ECF. You can, I mean, this session is recorded, so you can roll back the video later and listen to my explanation on the benefits. Okay. And I think I just want to touch a bit more on from the investors' perspective. Yeah. So what kind of investors can invest? Actually, anybody can invest. So what do you mean by crowd? Okay. So crowd is can be individuals, can be high net worth, can be retail, so can be companies, can be NGOs, can be corporations. So as long as in the M&A, in the mandate, okay, it actually apa ni, allows the entity to invest. Yeah. Hi Atasha, I see you're here. Mr. Troy Kingsman, who's Atasha. Okay. Hi Michael, can you briefly describe industry, who are the platforms allowed? I don't want to talk about my, well, okay. Who are the platforms? Okay. So there are. You want to check out the platform? You can look at the list of the companies in SC. Can one of my colleagues put in the link for the SC so that you can access to the list of other platforms, other regulated platforms who are allowed to, who is actually registered with the Securities Commission to do equity crowdfunding. Hi, Chris. Hi. Are you back in KL? We need to go for birthday lunch with Siva. Anyway, okay. So for us, what's so different about Atta Plus with the rest? I believe that for us is, for now, if you look at our screening process, so our screening process for our applicants used to be 15 working days. Now, when COVID-19 happened, so we actually acknowledge that especially it hit SMEs a lot, especially startups. So we've relooked at, recalibrated our process, and now depend and subject to completeness of documentation. Yeah. So our screening process is 5 working days. It used to be 15 working days. We've compressed it to 5 working days. But again, let me emphasize, it really depends on the completeness of documentation that you have submitted to us. Okay. Secondly, so the turnaround time is pretty swift for us. And secondly, I would say the other thing is we pay a lot of emphasis on marketing. So we put a lot of effort in terms of marketing and promoting the campaign, and we have a 3-pronged marketing strategies, an integrated strategy from content marketing to digital social media marketing to PR and also to pitching sessions. And our pitching sessions are now online and offline. So we find that a lot of people now, especially during MCO, a lot of people are very comfortable with meeting online and also attending virtual pitching sessions. And it's actually very convenient because you don't have to be at a physical location. You can come in and out. At one time we saw some one of our viewers who attended the pitching session, she was driving and she was listening to the pitch. So that's the beauty of virtual or online sessions. So we've gotten like more than 100 people tuning in to our sessions. Waalaikumsalam Irwan, selamat tengah hari, apa khabar? And we also have, who is on Cannot be. Aish. So okay. So what is that? Okay. So sorry, I got distracted. Okay. So yeah. So that's the difference. Okay. What do you think are the more popular industries for which ECF? Okay, I think if you look at the industry, I think if you look at the industry now and the statistics over the last few years, 75% of companies that has come through equity crowdfunding tend to be tech-related type of businesses. So it's either tech companies or tech-enabled businesses. Yeah, but specifically to Atta Plus, we do not discriminate. We are industry agnostic. So kita tengok semua company. So any types of companies can, apply to us. But we only look at halal businesses. Yeah. So we don't look at pornography business, weapons of mass destruction, drugs. So we don't do that. Okay. Hi Zulaika. So yeah, I think I've talked about the benefits of ECF, as a marketing tool, and I think I spoke about one company who got a lot of traction in terms of new businesses, yeah, from this, from the fundraising, and that's one of the main thing. And the other one was one company, they actually secured a tech partner actually, and who became one of their strategic investors in their business. So so those are, I would say, are some of the key examples. I think at this point I want to emphasize, a lot of people also ask us, okay, is there a secret sauce to successful fundraising? Okay, and okay, and we always say that it doesn't just boil down to one formula. All right, so it's a multitude of factors. Okay, it's from the market opportunity that your business present. Okay, so that's number one. So the opportunity is very important, because sometimes you can have the best pitch, but the business is a sunset business. It's a sunset industry. Okay, so if it's a sunset industry, then what is the business proposition for that particular business? So that's number one. Number two is also sometimes how you package your investment terms. Okay, if you say the entry point is 100,000 ringgit, then you eliminate a lot of the people who are able to actually invest in the company. Okay, so you totally eliminate the retail investors, because for retail investors, they can only invest up to 5,000 ringgit. And so that's one. Okay, sometimes you can also structure your investment proposition together with rewards. Okay, especially if you have FMCG type of products, yeah, or even hospitality products. The other thing is the team. So what we observe is that quite a number of startups, a lot of the startups have young team members, but how you actually balance that out is get experienced mentors or advisors to be part of your team. Okay, the other thing is whoever is doing the pitch. I think the storyteller is very, very important. Sometimes you can have a fantastic business, but the person who's delivering the message is not strong. It doesn't mean that the CEO must be the one to deliver. Choose a person in your company or in your team that is really strong at delivering that investment value proposition. Yeah. Okay, very, very important. Okay. I mean, you want to get a storyteller that is so strong. It's like you know, Eskimo selling. Oh, sorry, you're like selling ice to the Eskimo. Yeah. Okay. So those are the combination of factors, you know, to for the success. The other thing is it'll be also be absolutely a plus if you have a strong crowd, strong followers. So the more followers and you have very strong and also what's the word, loyal followers, they would support you. Okay, so we've had one issuer who actually raised 1.1 million overnight after they did their pitching session, a live pitching session with their members. Yeah, and 101.1 million is just from their members alone. All right, so that's how strong your crowd, you know, can be in terms of or your community can be, you know, in terms of supporting your business. So Michael has a question on fees. So typically, I think the success there typically there will be a processing fee. Different platforms will charge different rates of fees. At the moment, for Atta Plus, our processing fee is up to 5,000 ringgit, and then is the success fee. So and this is only charged upon successful fundraise, and it ranges platform by platform, and it's anywhere between I believe 5 to 8%. Yeah, depending on the platform. Okay. So and I must emphasize, some people say, oh, why is it so high, you know? I mean, you must think about it this way, right? For a platform like us, or even our other fellow crowdfunding platforms, you know, this is our business model. We don't charge anything else. Okay. And typically we keep the processing fee very competitive, but there is you know, whereby we make most of our fees, okay, when a company is successful. And typically we don't and for Atta Plus, we spend the marketing cost upfront. All right, the marketing upfront. So normally out of the fees, we spend up to 1.5% that's focused on marketing. Yeah. So if the campaign is not successful, then that's the cost to us. That's some cost already. So that shows our commitment to the platform. Yeah, and the campaign. Yeah, I think I've I think I've answered Esther the question on businesses. Okay, they can be, when you mean small businesses, I mean again it goes back to the guidelines. Okay, only Sendirian Berhad companies and limited liability partnership companies, or PLP companies, that's registered with SSM, you know, can fundraise. Now if Makcik Kia has a Sendirian Berhad company, yeah, so and can fundraise, okay, why not, you know? So hi Brandon, how are you? Okay. How huge is the crowd for now in Atta Plus? Okay, so the thing is, for us Atta Plus members, you know, we've got about, I would say, about 6,000 members on Atta Plus. These are registered members on the platform. However, having said that, investors can come from anywhere. All right. So it doesn't mean that we have our 6,000 members now. These are the only people that invest in the company. So every day we get new members, right? New registered members. And investors, just to let everybody know, investors are not exclusive to a platform. Investors can invest anywhere. Okay, so there's no such thing as you know, if I have the 6,000 members on my platform, they can also be members in other platform, and they can also invest in other platforms. So for us, when people always ask us also, okay, who are your investors? Then we always ask, who do you want? Okay, because investors is not exclusive to us. So investors can come from anywhere. It may not be Malaysians. It can be from overseas. So we've got investors from Cameroon, from Kazakhstan, from Italy, from UK, from Australia, from Iran, from where else? US, you know, from the Middle East, from Germany, yeah. So so that is the beauty of crowdfunding, because it's not just limited to Malaysia, and under the guidelines in Malaysia, we open it up to retail investors, because in certain jurisdictions, you know, only accredited investors or sophisticated investors are allowed to invest in a crowdfunding campaign. Sorry, I'm talking so much. Yeah, throat's dry. So, any other questions? We've got about 15 minutes left. Yeah. So now let me talk a little bit more about you know, to date, yeah, in terms of the take-up rate, and we see that, you know, especially with COVID-19, you know, there's more and more people looking at this type of alternative fundraising, yeah. And what is the beauty of working with a crowdfunding platform like ours? You know, previously, before equity crowdfunding is regulated, Sedia Berhad companies cannot actually fundraise openly, you know, to the public. You can do private placement, but you cannot openly fundraise. Okay, it is actually illegal. Yeah, the only way you can do it is if you go for IPO. Okay, so with equity crowdfunding, it gives you the legitimacy. So now it's legal, yeah, for a Sdn Bhd company to openly fundraise from the public. So it's as simple as if your company gets approved on the platform, your campaign is live, you can easily, like, say, as simple as printing out flyers, go to supermarket and say, okay, invest in my company. You know, it's only 100 ringgit, you know, and what do I get from it is blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, and you can also offer, it's not necessarily ordinary shares. So you can also now offer a preference share structure, okay, to the crowd. Yeah, so it's a bit more flexible now, and you can design it as of how you feel it could benefit yourself as well as to benefit the investors, right? So one thing I want to mention, right? Once you get the funds as a business, bila you dah dapat duit ni, okay, you have a responsibility to your investors. Okay, people, companies also ask me, do you have to do reporting? Yes, you have to do reporting. Because imagine you letak duit in a company, and then lepas tu company tu senyap. Okay? Company tu senyap, and then you don't know what's happening. So it's not, you know, it doesn't give comfort to the investors. So investors also want to know what's going on, you know, how is the company progressing. So as a business, especially now with the MySafe funds, yeah, so the company is obligated to do reporting, all right? And the reporting is not like, bukan macam bursa reporting, yeah, it's not like the bursa's reporting. It's more of more like a newsletter, and there's specific metrics that you need to report on. And the thing is, you want to make sure that the investors are comforted to know that, okay, number one is whether am I meeting my numbers as a business? Am I meeting my targets? If I'm meeting my targets, fantastic. If I'm not meeting my targets, what am I going to do about it? Or are you looking at new areas of business? And then any news about the business? Okay, so these are the kind of reporting that is required, you know, for the particular company, and you need to keep yourself engaged with your investors and your shareholders, basically. You know, like even for us, Atta Plus, right? as a company, we regularly update our shareholders on in terms of our performance, yeah, and our strategy moving forward. Okay, so that's very important, yeah. So, and it also actually helps to prepare these companies if you decide that one day you want to go IPO. Okay, so it's a good actually training ground for the companies that's going through equity crowdfunding. So if the company didn't succeed, there's a question from Esther. The fact the investors money who invest or will, yeah. So if a company fundraise and okay, typically when the fundraising happen during the fundraising period, the monies do not go into the company's account directly. It actually sits in trustee account, and this is a requirement by the Securities Commission, and it is a licensed trustee with the SC. Yeah. So for us, our trustee is Malaysian Trustees Berhad. Yeah, and the company, the monies will reside in the trustee until the fundraising campaign closes. If the fundraising campaign is not successful, the monies are all returned back to the investors. Okay, right. So in Malaysia, it is an all or nothing model. So so be mindful of that. Okay. What's happening? Hi, Usni. So I just want to know which Usni is this. I've got a few Usnis. Okay, so let's get back to the program. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so we were talking about reporting. So that's the obligation, all right. So and for Atta Plus, we actually have an investor relations dashboard. So and just to let you know, all the documentation, right, is all soft copies. Yeah, there's no hard copies. We do not want any hard copies documents. All right. So even at the closing of the campaign, we have an investor relations dashboard, and for each of the investors, right, you can always look into your investment documentation onto you just log in, and you can go into your account, and all the different investments that you've done is properly organized, yeah, and all the materials related to your investments are there. So these will be like your investment agreement, even your partnership agreement, all the reports are there, and also the company secretarial documents, and even the audited reports are all in your investor relations dashboard. Okay, and if you have any queries at any time that you want to or information that you need from your investors, the companies that you've invested in, you can always connect with them, and there's always an email, or you can connect with them on the platform as well. Okay, so how much time do we have left? Oh, okay. We have another 10 minutes, or we've got another 10 minutes. Okay. So anyone has any questions? So Zulaika has a question. If someone wants to invest, what should he or she consider before investment? Or what are the common risks? Okay. So actually, the worst thing that can happen for a business is that the business closes down. Okay. So that's the worst thing that can happen. Okay, which is why we always mention that you always, as an investor, you need to diversify your investment. You should not put all, I think I mentioned it before, shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, So that's I would say that's the main risk, okay, that the company can close down, okay, and they don't make it. So that's the worst thing. And make sure that when you look at any campaign, look at the different areas that you should look at in terms of investment opportunity. You look at the management. So the and I would say different investors have different kind of things that they look for. You know, some investors, they actually look at the business, and is this a business that I like? Is this a business that I want to put my money in? Some investors like tech businesses. Some businesses like beauty, lifestyle. So some businesses, they invest because of the person, okay, because they see, oh, you know, I believe in this person, and I know that this person can actually take this company to the next level, then I invest in the company. All right. So it really depends on the individual. Different people have different risk appetite. So we always say that sometimes it's like, you know, it's like a beauty pageant, right? So when you see different people in front of you and you say, okay, I may say I like A, B, C, D, E, but somebody says, oh, I know, I like X, Y, Z. So different people have different kind of interest levels, different appetite. So it's quite hard to say, yeah. And so what I would like to say here is that if you need to get in touch with us, you know, please, you can always email us at inquiry@ataplus.com. Can someone put that in? Inquiry@ataplus.com. Or you can actually email me directly, Elaine, ELAIN, at ata-plus.com. Yeah. Or you can actually PM us, yeah, send us a message on Facebook. Okay, we are available on Facebook or even on LinkedIn. We typically respond quite fast. Yeah. If I'm online, I'll respond immediately. Okay. Or you can even reach out to me on my Facebook, but it's best to reach out to the AtaPlus account. Okay. Right. And anything else before we leave? Okay, just to let you know, we will have this session every 2 weeks. Okay, every 2 weeks, and we look forward to engage with you again in another couple of weeks. All right, so it's typically at 12 o'clock, yeah, and for an hour, and it will be midweek, yeah. So just look out for it, yeah, and we hope to see you again. All right, and we've got another 7 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go. All right, so any burning questions? I'm still here. Anything you want to ask me? I think I've covered almost everything. At the moment, all investment docs guidelines are, yes. So all the investment documents are all online. So do go to our platform to take a look at the live campaigns. Can somebody key in? Our platform is www.ata-plus.com. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, you can email to inquiry@ata-plus.com. Yeah. Can somebody type in that? And also my email address. You can also email us at elaine@ataplus.com. All right. Okay. Okay. Anything else before I go off, guys? Anything that okay, before I leave, anything that you want me to touch on in at the next session? Yeah. Do let me know. Just type in if you want me to touch on any specific areas in the next session. I can cover that. Did I cover everything? Maybe you can cover a bit more in valuation. Should we bring in a special guest next time? Yeah? Would you all like that? Would you like to hear from maybe from an issuer and share their experience on fundraising? Yeah. Yes, I must say this, yeah, before I leave. Fundraising on equity crowdfunding is it, on the contrary to what people think, is not that simple. Okay, it doesn't mean that the moment you launch your campaign online and suddenly the money appears. Yeah, so there's a lot of hard work from the business owner. Yeah, you need to work very hard to do your fundraising. And for us, we give you the legitimacy, yeah, because we screen the company to make sure that you comply with Securities Commission requirements, yeah. But of course, at the same time, we will work together with you to market and promote your fundraising campaign to the public, as well as to specific communities out there, yeah. But of course, working in tandem with you. All right. So I think with that, I'll end the session today. Thank you for joining us, all right, and joining me today. And again, don't forget, if you have any questions or you are interested to look at fundraising or investing, do go to our website, ata-plus.com, yeah. And any inquiries, just direct it to us on Facebook, or you can email us. I believe the email address have been shared. Okay. So otherwise, I will see you again in a couple of weeks. All right. Take care. Bye. The video doesn't want to end. Okay.